Welcome back to Politics Watch. This is Sir P. Now, today I'm going to talk about an infamous incident that happened in 2003 during a sting clash between the World Shepherd and the Ninja Man. And it ended up being ironic. The two man them end up behind bars right now. But anyway, that was a very tricky situation, right? Now, before I go into the background story, because they said that the people believe the Ninja Man version of the story, which is that after Cartel and him friend them kick down Ninja Man bawl and beg and ask people to spare the World Shepherd. That is not the case. Today I'm going to tell you why nothing never happened to the World Shepherd and why Ninja Man was doing a lot of, save face, because he had this bad man image and bad man reputation, so he couldn't come out and say what really are going on. Don't worry people, I'm going to tell you the real story today. It's because there's too much people on YouTube, especially a lot of very young YouTubers who try to control the narrative about the World Shepherd. When, to be honest, when the World Shepherd had touched the streets, enough of them didn't have diapers. So I don't know how them think them can control the narrative and try to shape this image about the World Shepherd. I tell you about things where I lived through, and people from these communities can testify and verify what things that we're going to talk about in this video. But let's have a recap. Let's have a recap about that incident between the World Shepherd and Ninja Man Sting 2003. Check out this video clip, people.
Hold on! Ninja Man, you get tackled with the water. This me last thing, I get tackled with the water. Watch out! Only a ninja kill a ninja, all the pussy them fi tell.
What you just witnessed is one of the lowest points in dancehall's history. People, I want you to understand something, I am actually a fan of dancehall culture. But I talk about real dancehall culture. I not talk about this circus thing where them turn it in a now. Right? Remember, dancehall was originally the voice of the poor. Dancehall and reggae was the voice of the people who had no voice. Right? I love dancehall. When they say me call out certain things and call out certain artists, it's because of them turn dancehall into a mockery and turn it into a circus. Right? So don't get it twisted. The whole sting culture and seeing the best DJ, the most lyrical DJ go up against each other, that is a part of the culture, right? And for years, we see Supercat go against Ninja Man, who, again, those were two 87s on stage, and none of them never resort to this. We see Shabba and Ninja Man, we see all kind of artists touch the stage, and they never come to this. And the World Shepherd and him Eyeglass Wasteman friend them, right, come. And after they carried out this foolishness, I think it took about another 5 years before Sting see another clash. And to be honest, I don't think Sting ever recovered from this incident, right? Now, understand this, people. The whole thing was pre-planned by the Shepherd. Now, in that clip, if you go back and watch the extended video, right, that is a clip. Go back and search for Sting 2003. You will see as soon as Ninja Man touched the stage, the fans them start buckling him. That was because the Shepherd bringing people in a Sting for buckle Ninja Man. That was planned. Ninja Man didn't get a chance to put out 2 words good and the buckle them start fly. That was planned. First of all, Sting was being held on the World Shepherd's turf over at Portmore, right? Him Eyeglass friend them go in there and start fling buckle off a Ninja Man from the start. When you hear the Shepherd talk about Ninja Man they get tackled with the war, this me a Sting and get buckled with the war, that was all a plot. All a part of the World Shepherd's plan, right? So he then runs on stage, right? Originally it wasn't even supposed to be him and Ninja, it was supposed to be Bunty and Ninja, right? And Bunty sent the World Shepherd in its place, because at the time Bunty and the Shepherd were still apart. People, the World Shepherd proceed to bring on a bagger man on stage with him. Remember, he knew he was going up against Ninja Man. Ninja Man, who was actually somebody who was in the streets, I do a bag of things. Ninja Man was actually at 87, right? Now, the World Shepherd, knowing say, him not have the guts to go up against Ninja Man one-on-one. Since you love foolishness, World Shepherd, because I know you sit down there and still listen to some of them videos, Since you love foolishness and you're as rough and tough as you claim in all your song them, right? Since you're this tough guy, we run camp on stage with a bag of man. Have you ever seen a clash where a man run up on stage with so much man, the world shepherd know what he was about to do. But because him know, him never have the stomach to go toe to toe with Ninja Man, him run on with a bagger man. So when the foolishness start, the bagger man them can bail him out. Right? People, let me make one of the world shepherd's former friend them tell you about who this brother really is.
Cartel a big coward Jamaican, I know that, you know. Me I tell you that, you know. Me and Cartel in jail, me have to stay and then I get bail, I couldn't even come out lesson.
Everybody who know the shepherd knows that in a real life, the shepherd never had the guts to do anything by himself. He was a big time coward. The shepherd is known for standing next to the biggest baddest man them, and then you know when you used to be young and you're up on the playground, you have a little boy who used to cause trouble, right? Him come throw on a lick on you, and then when you go rush him back now, him big brother come stand up over him. That is how the shepherd operates. People, understand this. The reason why Ninja Man couldn't do nothing to the shepherd is because the shepherd was already linking with the monstrous Klansman gang. By then, the shepherd had already been introduced to Donovan Bulby Bennett. He did already start power with Klansman, right? He already started to feel like, say, the man can't do him nothing and nobody can give him a chat. See, Ninja Man could not have touched back the shepherd, right? At one point I heard him say the shepherd give him money, and I don't know if that part is true, but then Ninja Man said, oh, he did have to beg for the shepherd because people want to do him things and he have to beg it out. That's ridiculous. Even if him claim him beg it out, the man where him claim him beg it out from never want no smoke at all. Listen, by that point, Klansman was already established as some group of people where if you're going to go up against them, make sure say you already dig a hole in a dove cut already, right? Klansman go for people in a church, in a school, in a yard. Klansman will take plane go find for people, right? The shepherd was already embedded with them. The shepherd had a big brother standing over his shoulder will make him do anything him feel like and get away with it, right? That is the reason why Ninja Man could not have touched back the shepherd. You think Ninja Man, a man who built his image on Dan Gargan, I go make man kick him down on stage, right? And embarrass him like that and put him through all of that, right? And then afterwards, I go about him beg for man. Come on, Ninja Man is not that nice. If he was that nice, he wouldn't end up when they know. Ninja Man is not that nice. Ninja Man could not have touched back the shepherd, not because Ninja Man afraid of the shepherd. One on one, the shepherd can't go toe to toe with Ninja Man. But Ninja Man knew to get to the shepherd, he had to get past Klansman. And Ninja Man have nobody next to him who could equate to the strength and the brutality what Klansman was already known for. Now originally, when the shepherd started power with clans, it was because of Donovan Bulby Bennett. That's who he was introduced to. But of course, after Bulby was taken out, he then started to fall and stand up next to Tesha Miller, right? That is the style of the shepherd. Him stand up next to some real man who do things in the streets, right? And if you want him have nothing, him run go to for Bucketive. Now, people were messaging me the other day telling me that, Sir P, remember one time he talked about the shepherd and Mikey Pelper did have one war over Waterford and I never did believe in a Sir P, but then me see Ricky Trooper do one video and say true. Hold on, before me go any further. People really feel say me get up a morning time, evening time, and night time I make these videos because I don't have nothing to do. Like me have some kind of eyeglass. People, when I tell you these stories, it's because they are real events. Little details here and there might be, for example, we might say Honda Accord when it's supposed to be Honda Civic, right? For example, with the Klansman video about the shepherd and Roderick and Adjis, when I said that it was Roderick who killed Hadji's, in that video some people interpreted that Roderick himself didn't know. There were a lot of people involved in the killing of Hadji's, right? But Roderick was the man who, as I said, we don't want YouTube because YouTube actually flagged down that video now, people. If you notice, it's no longer being promoted. It's been flagged down by YouTube now. So what happened with some of these videos is based on the contents and the things that I talk about. and the videos I'm showing of them, YouTube might decide to listen, no, this video cannot be monetized fully. So what they do is they give you the yellow icon, meaning that you get limited ads. So even though you people are seeing ads, those are the cheapest words ads they can ever show. Even if you get 1 million views, they might get paid like $10. Right? No, I was fine with that. I didn't care. Right? I still set the video live, even though I say it was demonetized and I was given limited ads, because as I say, more on the people them see the content. But then after I manually appealed the flagging down, somebody who's a human, because a robot made the first decision. A human from YouTube decides that the part of the action and thing they with Ragic was too far, so the video is no longer being promoted. So people, if you want your friend to see that video, you have to take a link at the URL and send go get him. Right? That is why you notice that video is stuck at 40+K. That video got 40,000 views in 4 hours. And now if you look at it, it's like 44,000 views, right? It's literally stopped being promoted. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Ragic was a part of the team who actually split him up, so to say, right? But in terms of who pulled the trigger and all that, a whole heap of people took part in what happened to Hadjis, right? Now, again, let's go back to this Mikey Pelpa thing. When the Shepherd, they start going like Imoanto and Dan, at Portmore and Waterford, he met immediate resistance because the man them who they already in the streets to do things never rate the Shepherd. Right? They did not consider him to be no Dan. They did not consider him to be no bad man. They never wanted no talk from him. Right? So he's always had problems over Waterford. And when him and Mikey Pelpa war, the only reason why the Shepherd still there and want to sing song is because he ran to his big brother for help. And again, that was Klansman. Enough people don't realize just how much Klansman there are Portmore. There is a huge link between Portmore, especially Waterford, and the Klansman gang. Right? And enough of those men were imported to help the Shepherd fight in various battles them over there. Enough of the things them are going over there, and the man will live there, born and grow there. Then get imported into the community. And when the man Mikey Pelpa was at odds, right? Mikey Pelpa was he was the leader of an organization called the Lynch Mob Crew. Now you remember from a lot of the Shepherd's old time song, when him have lines that say things like Pelpa tall girl broke out, that diseases. And over next line him say, oh you love big up Pelpa so, cause a big girl with Pelpa so. See, like anything else, one time bridging end up turning enemies. Right? Now people, the Shepherd and the Pelpa end up doing a little phony peace march and claim say boy them done they must promote peace and all that, but really they were under pressure. They were under pressure from the security forces, right? So them go up on this one bag of big march, and the picture you're looking at HQ right now, the two of them over up and all kind of foolishness. Well anyway, as I said before, Mikey Pelpa end up drop out as he was trying to go in America on boat, and they must say jump out a boat and drown or something like that. Or whatever. The point is, he did a try to go foreign on boat, right? And that was the end of Mikey Pelpa. And of course the Shepherd remained. The Shepherd got even bigger, even richer, and his links got even deeper with the Klansman gang. So people, understand, we are giving a real dancehall history now, right? Don't worry about this like Mickey Mouse thing on here from enough of these people online who, in my opinion, are borderline groupies, right? May I tell you what really go down in the streets. Ninja Man, after them kick him down on stage, the reason why him couldn't do about the Shepherd nothing is because the Shepherd had Klansman standing over him like a big brother. And if Ninja or anybody with Ninja know the thing them serious, they would have known how brutal people can get if them they try to touch the Shepherd while him the link with them man. Especially under the reign of Donovan Bulby, because remember people, that thing was 2003 and Bulby didn't drop out in 2005. Trust me, as bad as Ninja Man think him is, he did not want any smoke with Klansman. He did not beg and bawl and stop nobody from do the Shepherd anything. The fact of the matter is, even if he did decide he was going to push it and hurt back the Shepherd, Ninja Man wouldn't be in prison right now. Ninja Man without a Medaris or Dovcat. Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Please like, comment and share the video. Bless.